Hi there, back with another story time, and this is from a family friend named Carrie. She wanted me to share her experiences that she's had that have left her questioning her intuition and her connection with other people. You see, Carrie, over the course of her life, has experienced something where she will randomly all of a sudden start thinking about somebody very intensely, and then not long after, she finds out that they have passed away. Story number one. Jake. Carrie had a particularly bad day and she wanted to wash it off by just getting in the bathtub and relaxing. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this guy that she went to high school with, who she was not even particularly close to and only knew him because her friend had dated him, she started thinking about him very deeply, like, this guy needs to be thought of. I have to think about him. And she started wondering, well, is he a good husband, a good father? Is he happy in life? She didn't understand why she was having these thoughts. She gets out of the bathtub, dries off, gets dressed, goes downstairs, and finds her mother's friend in the living room very, very upset. And she asked her what was wrong, and she said, my nephew died today while trimming a tree. The branch pinned him and killed him in front of his family. And this guy was the very guy she was up in her bathtub thinking about out of nowhere. She said, oh no, this is not normal. Story number two, Maya. Maya was a friend and a coworker of Carrie's. And once you no longer work there, you tend to grow apart like you do. And then one day, Maya just pops in her head and she was thinking about her very deeply and intensely. And she couldn't figure out why, but she just said she felt that she knew Maya needed to be thought about. Carrie had one of those little sales parties at her home, and one of her guests says, hey, do you know Maya? And Carrie said that before the lady could even finish telling her, she braced herself because she knew what she was about to hear. And she heard it. Maya had died in a car accident. And then that's when Carrie said, this is not a coincidence. I don't know what's happening with me, but it's happening. Story number three. Carrie's best friend, June. And like most of us, you have your best friend that is just your sister in your heart. And that even when life takes you in different directions, you can be together, you can talk, and it's like you were never apart. Carrie had one of those feelings about June. June just popped in her head and she said, oh no, I recognize this feeling. This is my best friend. What do? I don't want to call her and scare her by telling her. So she said she decided just to plan a little dinner party because she just knew she needed to be near her and to see her and talk to her. So Carrie was typing June a message when she was interrupted and sat her phone down and thought she would get back to the message after she was done doing what she was doing, only she hit send and sent June a partial message. The very next morning, as Carrie was getting up, starting her day, her phone rang. And she said when she looked at the phone, the name that popped up was a mutual friend of theirs. And she said she had, in the pit of her stomach, she knew, and she answered that phone call and found out that her best friend, June, had died that morning on her way to work in a car accident on the highway. Carrie doesn't understand any of this. She doesn't understand why she has these feelings or where they're coming from. She can't control them. She just knows that when she has this feeling, that afterwards she's going to hear that someone has passed. And she wanted me to let everyone know to love people while you can, reach out when someone is in your heart, and never ignore that little voice. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned, there will be more.